Hey guys, welcome back. Now, I did this lesson in my classroom years ago. I always did this whenever math came about because my first teacher in math was my mother. My mother made me go to the corner store once. When she made me go to this corner store, she said, okay, look, you're going to go and I'm going to give you this $10 food stamp. You're going to go down there and you're going to get money. You're going to get your lunch together for your brother and you. I said, but he is not going on a trip. She said, he might not be going on a trip, but since you're getting lunch to go and the snack to go on your trip, he's going to have one here too. Don't be asking me about your brother. So that's okay. So I went down to the store and I got 4 oranges, okay? Each orange cost 25 cents, okay? Now, they used to always charge 25 for $1, okay? And she said, get a loaf of bread. So I got the loaf of bread. Don't mind my drawing, okay? Because I know somebody's always going to come for me for that, okay? The bread was $1, okay? She said, don't forget to get $1's worth of cheese. Okay, this is the cheese. And $1's worth of, I guess it was turkey or chicken, okay? So let's say this is $1's worth. This is $1's worth, okay? And don't forget to get something to drink. So I went and got those little quarter juices. I got 2 for my brother, 1 for my brother, 1 for me. Okay, so that equals 50 cents. Okay. So I went down to the corner store. I got these, and then my mother believed in mayonnaise because mayonnaise was supposed to be the best. Hellmann's mayonnaise was supposed to be the best. And Hellmann's mayonnaise, they mix it well, so you can't tell what the contents are. But of course, I wanted to get something cheaper because I wanted to get that Twinkie. So I got this bottle of mayo, okay? Now the problem with this mayo, and at the time I didn't know until I was met with this. I bought this cheap mayo, okay? And this cheap mayo must have been about $1.50, okay? This cheap mayo was made, I didn't know that mayonnaise was made out of oil and eggs until I was met with this. If you didn't shake it well, it started separating. That's how you know it was a cheaper brand. So let's add this up, okay? If this equals $1, okay? This was $1, okay? That was $1. The cheese was $1. The turkey or chicken, I guess it was turkey. Turkey was $1 at that, okay? We add this 50 cents for the cheap juice I got, and $1.50 for this mayo, okay? So you know that's 0, and this 5 and 5 is 10, we carry that 1. So that's $1, 2, 3, 4, 5, $6, okay? So with that $6, I went back upstairs. No, before I left the store, I also had to get that Twinkie, okay? That Twinkie, I believe, I think the Twinkies were 25 cents or maybe 10 cents at the time, okay? So let's say that was 10 cents, okay? Which would mean this is now $6.10, okay? So I went upstairs with the change, okay? $6.10. And I was, before I got upstairs, I went upstairs on the elevator, so I was wiping my mouth because I had the cream from the Twinkie on my mouth, and I didn't want my mother to know because I didn't want to get in trouble because I never asked permission. So I get upstairs, and when I got upstairs, I put everything on the counter, and I went in the room and I said, Ma, I put everything on the counter. I got everything you wanted me to get from the store. And she said, hold on a second. I think she was on the phone. She said, I'm going to call you back, girl, okay? And we went into the kitchen. She's looking at everything. She said, something's wrong. My change is wrong. And she said, and what is this? She was pointing to that cheap juice that I spent 10 cents on. That I spent, a quarter on. And she said, we don't do that. You need to either get some real juice or you need to get some water. We don't do that. We do not buy cheap stuff, and that cheap juice, there's nothing but sugar and water in there, and we're not drinking that. So she was sending me back to the store, but she said, something else is missing. My change still seems light. What is going on here? So she looked at me and she said, where's the rest of my change? And I was looking down and I was looking up at the ceiling, up at the roof. I'm looking to God to help me. And she said, when you better make sure that you have my change. And she said, what is that? She looked further and she noticed something. So I already knew I was caught. So I'm trying to explain what have you. She's like, look, when you steal from your family, you steal from yourself. And we don't steal around here, okay? So you better go back downstairs and you better get all my money. So I went down the stairs and I went to the store and I asked the guy to switch. Could I switch, the juices, the 25-cent cheap water with sugar and a coloring for real juice? So he said, where's your receipt? Apparently the guy who rang me up earlier was not there anymore. It was a whole different guy. So now I'm crying. And I'm trying to explain to him that I need the right change. I'm getting in trouble when I get upstairs. And he's like, wait, come down. What you need? So I went and I got the real juice or whatever and, gave him the money. He said, okay. Now what you need now? I said, but I ate the Twinkie or whatever. He said, listen, I don't know what happened when you were not here. I was not here. And then, and also the bread. I got a cheap bread, and my mother wanted me to come back and get the real bread. She wanted me to get Wonder Bread. So I ended up having to exchange the bread. The guy who was back in the back now, it came to the front. He's the person who rang me up. So he straightened the whole matter out, but I still never got to fix the matter with the Twinkie because apparently he couldn't fix that because I had already eaten it. So I went back upstairs and I had to face the fury of my mother, okay? We want to make sure that we are sending a positive message to our children. Now this message, my mother was very upset. I got into trouble. We want to make sure that we are sending a positive message to our children. We want to make sure that they know. We don't want them to cheat themselves nor us. We are a family. So in being a family, if you want something, just ask for it. It can be given to you, but you have to ask. My mother was very harsh on it. And I think I would have handled it differently had I been a parent. But we're learning here. We're learning from the mistakes of the past. We're learning from our relatives. We're learning that regardless of what the problem is, there is a solution. But we need to make sure that we are carrying out a positive message to our children so that the same mistakes are not repeated over and over again. And the generations are improving through their behavior, through their thought patterns, and through their spiritual behavior as well, okay? So let us pray together as a family and let us stay together and grow, okay? That's been my word because it's so lovely being you and family.